Hi, this is Maurizio from the band Ex Deo. I'm here in Dublin, in Ireland, and we're about to destroy the Button Factory. On a Friday the 13th, I will definitely not get dressed as Jason Myers and walk down the street. It will be very, very cliche. So I will never do that. On a Friday the 13th, you never know if, it's sometimes because people think something is going to happen or it's a weird day, things actually do happen. So because of that, yes, a little bit, but I'm more of a realist about things, than a suspicious person. We started over 20 years ago, so for us it's our baby, and we've been working so hard for it over the years. Ex Deo was something that was born out of my Italian heritage and wanted to do something different. It's an artistic type of band and has a different approach, and because it's so theatrical, we don't want to overdo it, because I think people want to see something like that more as a special event than seeing it every day, or every year or whatever. So Ex Deo is like our little sidekick, and I think, but now lately it's gaining a lot of ground and getting much bigger. So there's more demand, but we still don't take everything. We choose, and we did this tour mainly because first we are very good friends with Niall and they invited us, and second because also we never came to England and Ireland. After doing Bloodstock, it was a perfect opportunity for us to come here, so it was one of the reasons, But we'll see what the future gives, I really am the type of person that just rolls with the punches, and I take one thing at a time, and see how life goes, and we'll take it from there. Maybe we do a little bit more touring in the future. The fans decide, As I said, Ex Deo is very artistic. You will see almost like a reincarnation of Rome live. You will see something that will be a little bit more artistic than usual bands do. We come in full Roman gear, and it's very epic. So far the crowds have been going crazy over it, and especially the girls. They love the skirt and the leather, I think.
Do you wear something?
Yes. Well, I wear something under it. Yeah, of course. No. Depends what you mean by naked. If it's completely naked, no. But I've had some situations where people try to pull my pants on stage and stuff like that. I guess they get a little bit excited. But other than that, not really. I haven't been naked in public. The beach would be the most naked I've been, I think, just with a pair of boxers. But that's it. It's not the weirdest, but the worst thing is when all power goes down and then you have no power, and then like that's happened us a couple of times on tour, and then you're just standing there and like, there's no more sound. So it's the worst thing that can happen to you when you're actually playing. But we've had everything from inflatable dicks getting thrown on stage to to balloons, to all kinds of stuff. This band has been through so many things that to pinpoint one thing now is just, slipped off the stage once also, and that wasn't fun. Falling into the crowd, in between the barricades, that hurt. So stuff like that, there's always a new thing that happens. But funny thing that happened with Ex Deo was in Austria, in Innsbruck, and I came on stage and they didn't tell me that they had just washed the monitors. So I put my foot, adjusted as a Roman, and I slipped, fell. So that didn't look too glorious. Good question. I mean, in these days, it's not something that, in a perfect world, in death metal, I think if you do anything over 100,000, you're really, worldwide, you're doing really good, Even back in the day, it was like that when people bought albums. If you were doing anything over 50,000, going into 100, you were a huge band, there's no expectations for selling millions of albums in death metal or underground metal, you know. But for me, it's more what the fans want, you know, and if they support it by buying a t-shirt instead of a CD, I'm also happy, you know, as long as they do some sort of support, you know, because for us this is our way of living, you know. So if we give also our shirts for free, then we won't be coming back, you know. So stuff like that, you know. I think I support my bands I love. I think the band, so as long as the fans are the same way, there's no, everything is okay, you know. There's always a way. I probably was still like this because I think it was Metallica on the Master of Puppets tour, or was it? It was the Injustice for All tour. They came to Montreal in Canada, and I went to see them at the Forum, and I just was like completely blown away. It was my first real metal concert, you know. Then I had other tours, like I remember seeing Napalm Death with Nocturnus and Godflesh, this is years ago. And I saw them, and that's when I got into the heavier stuff, and that also blew my head off, you know. So that's when I knew I wanted to do this, you know, and I wanted to be on the stage. You know, I always saw, you know, MTV and all this stuff. They used to have metal programs, and it was cool, Pantera and all this. But I think when I first experienced it live, I was like, wow, you know, there's so much power, you know, to be on the stage. That's what I wanted to do. So since then. All my favorite actors are getting too old, you know. So I mean, I would have liked Pacino or De Niro, you know. But realistically, probably Gerard Butler from the movie 300. Society where everybody can coexist. In a right way, without any prejudice on anything, and that there's that opportunity are given in an equal way. If you mess up your opportunity, then it's your fault, you know, and nobody should pay the price for you fucking up your own chances of doing something. I think that would be a perfect society, which is very difficult to exist in a world that we are, because greed always takes over everything, and it's very difficult to have something balanced, you know. Also, people should understand that when you achieve a certain happiness, then you should be content with that and not always want more, because that's when everything fucks up, you know. It's like excess, you know. So I think if everybody would be balanced like that, it would be awesome, and I think a lot of people would enjoy more, you know, everything in this equilibrium that doesn't really exist, you know. But we are humans, and therefore that will not exist. The hunger will always stay, and so we have to coexist anyways, you know. Yeah, I just, you know, right now we're going to finish off this tour with Exdale. Then we're going to start the Cataclysm campaign, which starts in October, and will continue for probably 2 years, because the plans for it are very long. But in the meanwhile, I want to go home and relax a little bit. That's going to be my immediate plans, but we will be back in Europe in January and February with Cataclysm. We'll be back here in Ireland as well. So we look forward to doing that tour and going back into the clubs. It's been over 3 years now, I think, since the last tour, so it'll be really cool to revisit, you know, everything. And just that, and like I said, I want to go back home and hang out with my kid a little bit, and just be happy a little bit and being normal, you know, not being in a tour bus or a flight. We are here, and we want to thank you for all the support you've given us and continue to give us. We'll see you with Cataclysm in January, or if you're tonight, you'll get to see a little bit of the Roman history. Cheers.